there's a great example of this that I would love to point out now. Two examples. You have a lot of people that get upset at Warren Buffett's secretary paying more percentage of tax than Warren Buffett. But Warren Buffett doesn't make an income. What's the name of the tax? Everyone's gonna
Income tax.
Income tax.
He doesn't earn an income. She does. So he's not taxable. He
Exactly.
doesn't have an income. So does his LLC have an income?
That's revenue. He would get a revenue or a dividend. These are taxed completely different. Revenue, dividends, they're taxed different. That's not income. That is money from the assets. Depending on how it's a couple of ways to do it. Well, it's a lot of ways to do it. A stock can pay you dividends, and you live off the dividends and keep the principal in a good piece of the interest inside the stocks to continue making more money so you get dividends. Dividends is what the company would pay out to you for being a good shareholder. So call it extra money for this beginner conversation.
So income, well, not really income, maybe it's revenue generated from owning property is not treated like income because technically it's not income.
No, it's
I'm
not.
just trying to figure out how the tax part relates to
I got you.
owning a mortgage. The money you're receiving is called a revenue. It's not a dividend.
It wouldn't be. That's why we're having that LLC talk right now. Great questions. And they're not beginner questions. Well, I guess they are, but they're not beginner answers. A couple of answers to this one question because they go deeper and deeper. No, it's not income. It's passive revenue, which would be more treated which would be better suited for an LLC. Passive income is LLCs have a different tax structures, tax percentage. For the sake of an easy conversation, let's just say 15%. It's about there. For the sake of easy general balloon conversation, you'd be taxed about 15% in that LLC. But since it's real estate, you get to have what you get to take a depreciating deduction.
So it deducts the tax amount from 15 maybe down to 11, sometimes down to 8 over time.
Shoot, as soon as
or
you
just
get
from
it,
day one?
as soon as you get it, because guess who paid that rent? You did. Just because you guess who paid the mortgage? Your income, your renter person paid you, but then you had to pay the mortgage. And the mortgage you get to write off. The taxes you get to write off. The upkeep of the building you get to write off. Any professional services you paid for.
Pest
Tax
control,
collector,
window
pest
cleaning.
control, CPA, lawyer, coach, advisor, me, all that's depreciated that you get to write off. So you turn this 15% into you ain't even pay taxes. You own the Donald Trump tax plan.
You end up being paid.
And you
All right.
say it again, say it a little louder, say he.
I just said you end up being paid
So I had
instead of
somebody.
payee.
There you go.
Okay, I get it.
There you go. And with that, that's per unit you own. So not only are you keeping the cash, but then you get this imaginary cash we made up called tax benefits, or what poor people always complain about the wealthy having.
Well, this might be a little elementary, but this is how I'm understanding it. It's like playing sports. Any sport. I'm gonna pick basketball. I don't know anything about it. You can't play basketball if you don't know the rules of the game.
Right.
So you can't technically win the money game. You can't win the real estate game. You can't win the entrepreneur game if you don't know the rules.
That's right.
And the rules are tax laws. It's setting up LLCs. It's having apartment homes versus single family homes. It's understanding the game in its entirety.
That's right.
Before you get on the court, dribbling the ball and trying to shoot a basket.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. You can't play any game.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's fantastic. That was better than what I could have taught it. It was great. In any game that you play, if you don't know the rules, you lose.
Automatic.
I don't even own my own house. Neither do I live in a house, but I own many houses. And I choose to pay rent that I deduct due to the fact that I have a home-based business inside of it.
Can I ask another question?
Oh, sure.
This might be a little analytical, but
Yeah.
you know how my brain works.
Actually, you're gonna help somebody.
The LLC, Series LLC, owns everything. I get that.
Yep.
You own the LLC, right?
Yes. But the LLC,
How is it? Does it? You know
How
where
is
I'm
it
going?
not?
How is it not?
that's what it's invented for. We made it up. The question she's asking at the heart of it is, well, how is it not that you own it?
How is it not tied to you?
Yeah, how's
because
that?
you own it. It owns everything else,
But
but
you
you
own
own it. So can't they trace the?
No, they can they can trace it, but the way you hire professionals, I hire professionals, that there's a legal way
So the laws give you the protection from it.
in more than one way. The LLC is protections, but the way you set it up, you can set it up to where the owner is anonymous, and you have to pay a lawyer a lot of money to find out who owns it. There's plenty of lawyers who specialize. Well, there are plenty of lawyers who specialize in this, but not all real estate lawyers. And I wouldn't even go to a lawyer. I would go to a lawyer that specializes in real estate. I have a real estate lawyer. I have a criminal lawyer if I ever need one. I sure hope I don't. And I have a business lawyer. And I only go to each when they're doing something or when I need something. And I haven't needed a criminal lawyer in quite some time. But the retainer gets paid just in case. You never know. You never know when someone my persuasion gets identified as fitting a description. You never know.
I get it.
You never know.
Mistaken identity.
Okay, you understand.
Or profile. I get it.
You
I
never
have
know.
a wild tan color.
Exactly.
I got it.
Exactly.
I got it.
Now, there's other protections because the LLC, this is the safety part, right? Safety, speed, we'll break these down in three parts, but safety, speed, money. The LLC protects you because we just made it up. Like, don't try to understand what the dominant culture just made up. They just made it up. They said, you know what, here's an entity. Let's make sure the entity is liable, not the person.
Makes sense.
So you're suing the entity, not the person. That entity is at fault. And guess what? Now, you ready for this? Guess what people like me do when there's a problem with an entity? Close
I
it.
was going to say bankrupted.
Start another one.
Okay. I would have said bankrupted. That's close.
Well, not even a legal bankruptcy. Just, okay, I've settled this debt or I've settled this claim or I've done this here. Now that the legal ramifications are over, this is done for. It doesn't exist no more. I move on. Why would I keep something up and running that you suing? I closed it. It's doing no more business. We're now talking about the date that you're suing me, not the business. And anything that they owns is nothing because I closed it.